he was enlisted. The bounty paid to him, bonus for enlisting. The arms, ammunition, accoutrements, clothing, and necessaries delivered to him with their marks and numbers, because they were numbered, and the times when delivered. Also copies of all returns of thralls, discharges, every casualty that happens within the company. The men were to shave Wednesdays and Sunday for church services. Most men had close cropped hair like I have, because it was just paid to trying to maintain long hair. If you were a wealthy upper class, a senior officer, you'd have a wig. But they were okay with that. The long hair was just what it was. It was just easier to have it cut short. They were to wash their hands and face every day. They were to bathe as often as there was clean water. Instructions for the private soldier. Having received as necessary, should in the first place learn to dress himself with a soldier-like air. Place his effects properly in his knapsack, so as to carry them with ease and convenience. How to salute his officers when he meets them, to clean his arms, wash his linen, and cook his provisions. He should early accustom himself to dress in the night, and for that purpose always have his effects in his knapsack, and that place where he can put his hand on it in a moment. That in case of alarm, he may repair with greatest alertness to the parade. If there were an attack, an emergency, fire, a raid, the drummer, there would be a duty drummer. He would be like the alarm system. He would beat the alarms, and you get dressed, get your arms, and line up in front of your tent. For learning to march, you must take great pains to acquire a firm step, proper balance. Remember, these were farmers. Many of them used to work in the soft, dirty plow fields. No shoes on. You see a farmer walk who's used to walk behind a plow, he walks like this. Soldier, they wanted to walk straight, or if we were doing a march step, that was called a parade step. Later, bastardized into the goose step, which are the goose step. Practicing himself at all his leisure hours. He must accustom himself to the greatest steadiness under arms, to pay attention to the commands of his officers, and exercise himself continually with his firearm. Practice shooting, in order to acquire vivacity in his movements. They didn't want sloppers, they wanted sharp, quick movements. He must acquaint himself with the usual beats and signals of the drum and instantly obey them. That was the public address system of the day. When in ranks, he must always learn the names of his right and left hand men and file leader, in other words, the guy in front of him, and dress well in his ranks, in other words, line up evenly with the rest of them, which he may be assured of doing when he can just perceive the breast of the third man from him. If you line up, you should be able to see the third man and not the rest of them. If you could, you're too far back. If you couldn't see the third man, you're too far back. If you couldn't see beyond the third man, you're too far forward. Having joined his company, he must no longer consider himself a recruit, but as a soldier. Whenever he is ordered under arms, he must appear well dressed with his arms and accoutrements, clean and in good order, with his knapsack, blanket, etc., ready to throw on his back in case he should be ordered to take it. And then with warrant for guard and so forth and so on. This was published in '79, so it didn't really become effective until late in the war, which you imagine started in '76 with militia skirmishes. There are all sorts of standards that they try to promulgate for uniforms. There's some general stuff. Well, one of the people that wrote most extensively is a guy named Lefferts, L-E-F-F-E-R-T-S, 1783 to 1923, and did a lot of paintings and watercolors. For almost 30 years, he devoted his full-time energies to this work. He studied the orderly books, the diaries, the newspapers, the histories, private histories. Brown was the first official color for Continental uniforms. 1775, Continental colors. Distinguished by facings, that's the collar and lapels, of different colors. It's not completely carried out. Really, none of them ever worked. Early organizations already had chosen colors, and they already had the uniforms, they were going to replace them. 79, there was a general order, fixed blue as the color for all branches, and for all the state regiments of the Continental Line, not militia, with differences in the lines and facings. Artillery was to be blue lined with scarlet, with yellow buttons. The coat, the lapels and the buttonholes were lined with tape. It would be like shoelace material sewn around the outside of the button. That was very common in the British regiments. Light dragoons. Light dragoons are soldiers who ride to battle on horseback. Every fifth man holds the 5 horses, and the other 4 will fight on foot. They're not cavalry. Blue-faced and lined with white buttons. Infantry regiments will all be lined with white and have white buttons. States are distinguished by different colors, facings as follows. New England states, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Connecticut, white. New York, New Jersey, buff. Pennsylvania, Delaware, Maryland, Virginia, red. North Carolina, South Carolina, and Georgia, blue facings and buttonholes edged with narrow white tape. Guess what? They mostly ignored it. If they were making new uniforms, they followed it, but if not, they just continued on with what they had. Men would be first with standard uniform insofar as supplies would permit. The rifle dress, the hunting shirt. Rifle dress or hunting frock was preferred by Washington and was worn by most of the Army throughout the war. It was the field dress of almost the entire Army. Made of deer leather, linen, homespun, dyed in various colors in different regiments such as tan, green, blue, yellow, purple, black, and white. They're all the same pattern, but some had capes and cuffs of different colors. Hunting shirts were worn, long leggings or overalls, also preferred by the Army, in place of breeches and stockings. The linen or duck or deer leather, later the war first with wool for the winter, that's the stockings. Shaped the leg and fastened at the ankle with 4 buttons and a strap under the shoe. That's the overalls. Washington recommended hunting shirts as part of the clothing bounty to be provided by the Continental Congress, and is the most practical garment for troops not supplied with uniform coats. He pointed out several advantages of the rifle dress in '76. Cheaper, more convenient, cool and warm weather, warm and cool weather, depending upon what you put under it. Which won't change the outward look. I mean, you could wear that little blanket underneath, it would still look the same. Besides which, it's a dress justly supposed to carry no small terror of the enemy, who think every such person is a complete marksman. They were widely used for field and fatigue service, to save the uniforms from hard wear. Hunting shirts, that's the shirt, not the frock, were not considered uniforms, but were substitutes when coats could not be procured. They were practically fatigues, service uniforms. And there are various other articles that amplify that. That's probably the best one. The various paintings of people and the museum collections are what these are all borne out by. And it's where the research comes from. Because some of it has survived, some of it we only have in paintings. Some of it has come down to us in vestigial, like the old Navy trousers, the chef's coat, the stock of the Marines even at the World War I. I told you about the difference between firearms. If anyone wants to keep going, attend. Oh, give you an hour. If anybody wants to talk more, I'm here. Any questions?
About food, how do they keep the supply chain going? Do they have cooks, do they have wagons?
Yeah, they had wagons. There was a quartermaster corps, and they were supposed to bring provisions. Obviously, fresh stuff would be gathered from the locals, either through contributions, confiscations. If you could take a census and divide people up by their sentiments and affiliations, about a third of the population would be for independence. About a third would be for staying within the British Empire. And about a third was, I don't know, what do you think? They watched which way the wind was blowing, didn't have an opinion. Well, you mean there's a war going on? It's a lot like today's politics. But when the British took over something and you were a patriot, everybody in town informed on you, and they either burned down your farm or stole everything. Same thing if you were a Tory, British sympathizer, and the army moved in. All the neighbors said, hey, these were the crowd. You chase him out of town, tar and feather or whatever, or if you knew it was good for him, he'd gone before the hurricane hit, and you take his stuff. You harvest the stuff that was in his fields, slaughter his cows, pigs, whatever. The clothing, I said, the manufacturing supply was whole. The United States didn't have, the new country didn't have a lot of manufacturing. So a lot of stuff was captured. Now I showed you the French musket. Not everybody had the French musket. French muskets, these were produced in French national armories. It was the government that made them. And they're named, stamped for the armory that made them. Most of them were shipped over here to the armory at Charlotte. The British used Brown Bess, which they used for over 100 years. It's technically the same, it's stylistically different. And there are a few little differences in the way it's put together. And the British, being a nation of small shopkeepers, you heard that phrase, they contracted out. They would have a patterned musket band. It would be kept like in the Tower of London. And they would say, there are all the archers in the country. They would say, okay, anybody who wants to make stocks a wooden part, make them look like this, and we'll pay you X number of pounds per stock to pass the inspection. Okay, I'll make 500, I'll make 100, I'll make 3,000, whatever. The barrel. The barrel maker, here's the specifications, we make the specifications, they pass the inspection, we'll pay you so much per barrel. The lock. It's like a clock mechanism there, levers and springs. You want to make those? Fine. We'll pay you so much per lock. You know the phrase, lock, stock, and barrel. You got all of them. There's another section that the furniture. Furniture would be the brass end plate, the trigger guard, the buckles, the thimbles to hold the ramrod. Those would all be. So they had a different system. Yes.
Which one would reload faster?
I'm sorry.
Which one would reload faster? American or British?
Same. The technology is exactly the same.
Be the same?
The drill, the load, the muscle. Okay? So you just fire the shot, that's it. This is a modern safety mechanism that didn't exist in the 18th century, but it's supposed to prevent misfires. This is too. It's to prevent your musket setting off the next guy's musket. You just fire. The first thing you do is go to half cock. You take that cartridge I showed you. Tom's got some candy ones back there that'll show you exactly how they work. You bite the top. Oh, in recruiting, to be a soldier in the Army, you had to have all your limbs and have two teeth, at least two teeth, opposite each other. You couldn't have one here, or one here, and one here. Why? Because you had to bite the top off the paper top of the cartridge. You poured a little bit of powder in that little pan. See that little hole right there? Little depression? You poured just a little there, and you closed the frizzle. You took the rest of the powder, this is just a protector. You poured it in the barrel, you crumpled up the paper, you you put that in the barrel, you took the ball, put that in the barrel, you would do the ramrod, pack it all down. You want it packed down, because otherwise you burst the barrel. If the ball was here and the powder was here, it went off. You turn the ramrod. Now, at this point, there's only two things left to fire. You pull the cock back to full cock. You've heard the phrase going off half cock? It means going off before you're ready. Full cock, and then you watch the sparks right here. Those sparks went in, ignited that powder. That flash went through a little hole into the barrel, ignited the powder in here. About 14 seconds later, that powder, from pulling the trigger, that powder would explode and the ball would come flying out the end. They both operated exactly the same way. Now, if you were a German soldier back then, one of the Hessians, you didn't look down the barrel and aim the gun. You kept your head up like this and looked at your officer at the end of the line. He took his cane or his sword, and he would go like this. And you look at that, and you do this with your muscle, same as he has, so don't let up. Because it didn't make a difference if you shot him or him. It's just that you shot one of them. You didn't want to go too high, you didn't want to go too low. They're notoriously inaccurate. It was like 40 guys firing at once. It was like a shotgun. You didn't want to go over, you didn't want to go under, it didn't make a difference if you get somebody left or right.
Sir, I have a quick question about the ammunition. Was the ammunition?
The British used a different type of cartridge. They used, instead of a pasted cartridge, they used a spring-tied cartridge. Okay. This would be a musket ball. Pass it around. This is a flint. You'll feel the sharpness of it. That's how. What it does is it peels a thin spark, a thin piece of metal off the inside of the frism to make that spark. It's that peeling. The British cartridge, they use string. You see a tie at the bottom, the ball, the tie, the powder. There's only sugar in these, so don't get worried. Okay? There's only a marble in there. It won't go off on you. This is, the cartridges, pasted cartridge would be French, and it's made in newsprint, book pages. Now, you sort of had a question. Yeah.
Who made the ammunition?
It was like, you poured,
Who made
who
the
made them? There would be shops, workshops where they were made.
So it wasn't within the armies?
No, in the Americans, there was no ordnance department of that type to make that kind of stuff. It was a home manufacturer. Remember, these are people who were used to living in the woods, on the frontier, hunting in their backyards for rabbits, deer, whatever, for subsistence, shooting at Indians. So they had the molds, they had the pots, they had the lead. That was something. Remember, lead is used as ballast. Ships come to this country empty. With a few manufactured goods, they dump the ballast and take on our agricultural products, our pine trees, our turpentine, tar, the things that the British wanted, fish, and send them to Europe and sell them. But coming back, I mean, we weren't that wealthy or buying that much. So they would come back either loaded with bricks, stones, or lead. When all of that comes back, just put them right here. Okay? Now, I just want to show you a few more things that I have here to help round out what the soldier would have. Oh, fire starter. It said the soldiers cook their own, right? You get a hunk of each mess would be a tent with 5 or 6 guys. You saw the tents that I put up. That was a 4-man tent. In fact, that was a 4-man cavalry tent. You would have a piece of steel, a piece of flint. You'd use that. You have some hemp. You tease this out into like a cotton floss, like a cotton candy. The spark would go into that, you blow on that, you get it going. You might have a piece of charred cotton or linen that you had blackened, a little like charcoal, and then you start throwing your small kindling on that and build up, and you start your own fire. And you take whatever you got for provisions and throw them in the pot. There might be some potatoes, there might be some vegetables, carrots, whatever the hell was out in the field that day. It's what you made your stew of.
They have a hardtack.
They did have ovens, and they did bake their own bread. It would probably something like a French or an Italian loaf that you get in the supermarket today. It wouldn't be white bread. It would be whatever the local meal would be. It'd be pretty coarse bread. I'm just looking to see, just your repair kit, which would be rawhide, patches of canvas, soldier's housewife. A needle and thread. They're all stuck around there. You can't see what it is. Needles and thread, little pegs in there, so you could patch your stuff with that. Now, if you think of it, if you were in a Tory area, a British Royal British area, and British Army came in, marched in, took over, there wasn't much future there. So, you went for kids, and they followed along behind you, and they found, use by being cooks, bakers, laundresses. Soldier's knife. You notice the blade looks awful fat. The ones they found were just like little thin fillet blades because they've been sharpened so much. They started out that fat. But if you sharpen them enough, they end up like a fillet knife. That's a soldier's knife. And as soldiers everywhere will, there were punishments, but that didn't stop the soldiers. One of the things that was fairly common was there was a penalty for dice and card play. And the penalty was flogging, so you didn't want to get caught playing dice. But musket balls were very convenient to hammer down and mark spots on. And at that time of day, when you needed wood or a bucket of water for your fire, the drummer would beat wood and water ball, and you would have a detail of 5 or 6 men and a sergeant, and they go off to forage for wood and water. Of course, since the sergeant was the enforcer and the disciplinarian, the policeman for it, he was the one who had the cards and the dice, and ran the card game and dice game. These are some dollars of the day. The money was not national, obviously. It was issued by a local state. And the deck of cards, you'll notice, is bound with string. And it has embossed on it there a stamp from the famous Stamp Act that taxed ink and paper. On the string, it's in the stamp there. That's the tax stamp. Yeah. It's just embossed, it's not pretty. And the playing cards, pretty easy to mark, pretty easy to shave. As you can see, they're not all standard size. There was no such thing as a fair game of cards back then. But you can see the tax stamp in the square. See that embossing. So it was the sergeants that ran ran the card games and the dice games. Who's the track over there? It's cards. Dice.
Frank,
Sure.
with the power board, I mean, you mostly run out militia.
Powder horn was something that a local militia would use. They wouldn't use prepared made cartridges. Powder horn was something a rifleman would use. A rifleman has a precision instrument. It's a rifle barrel. He's got much longer distance. There are records of 400-yard shots with rifle musket, flintlock musket. They fired a much smaller ball, a 45 caliber ball. And one of the things that they didn't just use a standard load because of the different distances. One of the things that they would gauge is the amount of power that they would use. So they would measure the charge for each shot. It was all done more by instinct than anything else. You thought about the range, you thought about the crosswinds, you thought about the elevation, you thought about the humidity. Everything that a modern long-range sniper would think about. Taking a 2-mile shot across a valley in Afghanistan. But that's what these riflemen did instinctively in their head. And they would load from powder horn. They had different powder measures. They would have either made out of horn or wood or tubes that they had graduated cylinders. They would have 80 grains or 60 grains or 120 grains so that their shot would carry to their target. The rifle was a much different. Now, because it was so accurate, it was also, and it was technically harder to load. You couldn't get off as many shots per minute. A well-trained infantry regiment could fire maybe 4 shots in a minute. You had one loaded in, you could probably reload 3 times. Now remember, from the time you're going through that drill that I showed you of half cock, get a cartridge top, close it, this, ram it, close it, come on. They're marching towards you from wherever they started. Theoretically, if you started, say a football field, let me make a picture of a football field. Stand the goal line. By the time they hit the 50-yard line, you probably fire your first volley. And maybe 1 out of 6 shots would knock a man down. Another shot might wound a person, and the rest of you to get up in the dirt or the sky. Now, you're reloading like hell. By the time you get to the time you've reloaded, from the 50, they're probably at the 25, 20-yard line. But that's beginning to look into it. Okay? Now, this time when you fire, because they're much closer, your fire would probably take out 1 out of 3. Maybe wound another. But at this point, you don't have time to reload. If you don't have a bayonet, it's runaway time. If you do have a bayonet, they're already running at you with their bayonets. Because at that point, they would. It seems that through the evolution that the commanders learned, if you are marching towards an enemy that's fixed, don't bother stopping fire, because you're just going to get casualties. Start at the trot. And when you get 20 yards, you can take the fire at 50 yards maybe, but at 20 yards, go to a run with your bayonet. You don't have to reload the bayonet. That's the trick. There are battles, your time, you attack on redoubt number 10. Your time quickly. Up against the water, they build a big wall, semicircle, so that you don't attack the ends and flank it. They build redoubts, little castles, just soldiers with shovels. Okay? They build a little square. And they can fire down into these sticks sticking out. Redoubt number 10, redoubt number 9. The French attacked redoubt number 9, the light infantry attacked redoubt number 10. Once the redoubts are gone, you can move your artillery up to the final spot, and then you can start pounding to the final walls. It's the old trench warfare. It's a long story, but we can go into that. There was a rivalry of the officers. Alexander Hamilton and Lafayette. They each claimed they wanted to lead the attack on Redoubt number 10. Hamilton got to lead the redoubt and lead the attack, but Lafayette was the officer of the day. So technically he was in command. So they settled it that way. Questions?
I want to ask one. Red and black feather bothers me. They have it high on your head, wouldn't they be the first one shot?
One's on a horse.
Keep in mind the British were wearing red.
I know, but we're not. So we the officers have to wear that.
With a musket, you couldn't hit that target.
No, I mean,
You couldn't hit that target. Not in a million years. You'd be a freak if you hit that. It really would.
That's because of the
What it did was it told whoever you were running up against that you were elite troops. They weren't up against the second team. They were up against run-of-the-mill troops. You were light infantry. So that kind of put the fear out of it. You know, they send the Marines in here. They send the big guys in, the good guys. I mean, these are the sharp ones. These are the veterans that know what they're doing. Well, as I was telling you about the physical requirements, the light infantry had to have well-formed bodies, not just the tooth opposite each other in all their limbs. They were required to have well-formed bodies. So in other words, they wanted guys who were physically fit. It's their way of being physically fit. Now, in comparison, let me send this around again. That's the musket ball. That's the rifle ball. That's 45 caliber. That's 75 caliber. Because it was smaller, it could be more accurate. They couldn't make larger barrels, larger rifle barrels in those days.
Did they have rifle in Did they have rifle?
No, that's just a shotgun barrel. Just a plain old 12-gauge shotgun. Smooth as that. And that's why they were not accurate. I have been in rifle competitive matches. Came up in New Hampshire one year when they had a novel thing. They had a team event. They put a 2x2 stake this high in the ground. They put a piece of tape here and a piece of tape here. 5 guys for a team. First team to cut the stake between the tape would win. 3/4 of an hour later, they were still shooting. Because nobody could get, 2 shots within that much of each other would have knocked that thing over. But they would either miss left, high, or low. They're just not able.
Shot tower.
The shot tower, yeah. The rifles were unique. They were typically around 45 caliber. Every rifle barrel had its own bullet ball. So you load the bullet. That's also a molded bullet. You can see the flap where the screws come off. Okay, but the shot tower was a concept that came later. The difference between a 75 caliber musket rifle ball. The musket ball didn't go fast. It was like a bulldozer. It doesn't go fast either. But when it hits you, you're going down.
You're gonna know it.
You're going down. This would shatter your leg. It would just shatter your leg. If it hits you in the bone, that's it. There was no surgery, nothing. They just took the leg off and let it split. The Brown Death musket was used for almost 100 years in different variations. Kipling even wrote a poem. 1700 to 1815. In the days of lace ruffles, perukes, and brocade, Brown Bess was a partner whom none could despise. An outspoken, flinty-lipped, brazen-faced jade, brazen-faced brass fittings, flinty-lipped, with a habit of looking men straight in the eyes. At Blenheim and Remley's, Sops would confess they were pierced right to the heart by the charms of Brown Bess. Pierced to the heart? There's Birch Adams. Though her sight was not long and her weight was not small, yet her actions were winning, her language was clear, and everyone bowed as she opened the ball on the arm of some high-gaitered, grim grenadier. Half Europe admitted the striking success of the dances and routs that were given by Brown Bess. When ruffles were turned into stiff leather stocks and people wore pigtails instead of perukes, Brown Bess never altered her iron gray locks, gets the pun again. She knew she was valued for more than her looks. Of powder and patches was always my dress, and I think I am killing enough, said Brown Bess. So she followed her redcoats, whatever they did, from the heights of Quebec to the plains glacier, from Gibraltar to Accra, Cape Town, and Madrid. And nothing about her was changed on the way, and most of the empire, which now we possess, was won through those years of old-fashioned Brown Bess. In stubborn retreat or in stately advance, from the Portugal coast to the Falklands of Spain, she had puzzled some excellent marshals of France, till none of them wanted to meet her again. But later near Brussels, Napoleon, no less, arranged for a Waterloo ball with Brown Bess. She had danced till the dawn of that terrible day, she danced till the dusk of a more terrible night. And before her linked squares, his battalions gave way, and her long fierce quadrilles put her lancers to flight. And when his gilt carriage drove off in the press, I have danced my last dance for the world, said Brown Bess. If you go to museums, there's one in Whitehall, where old weapons are shown with their names written beneath. You will find her upstanding, her back to the wall, as stiff as a ramrod, the flint in her teeth. And if ever we English have reason to bless any arm save our mothers, that arm is Brown Bess. Let me give it. I'll be around marking up for any last questions, but I'll show you the finer points. Thank you. My pleasure.